we recommend using a headphone for our podcast. We also recommend you turn off the light in your room and be alone. It will give you the best experience through the paranormal universe. Gather round, my friends, and hear the tale of La Llorona, a weeping woman whose legend has haunted the dreams of Mexican children for generations. This is a story of love, betrayal, and tragedy. Long ago, in a humble village nestled in the heart of Mexico, there lived a beautiful young woman named Maria. Despite her family's poverty, Maria was known throughout the village for her grace and loveliness. Her eyes sparkled like stars, and her smile could light up a room. She was the jewel of her community. One fateful day, a wealthy nobleman rode into town, his heart captivated by the sight of Maria. He had traveled far and wide, but he had never laid eyes on a woman as beautiful as she. He knew that he had to make her his own, no matter the cost. Maria, flattered by the nobleman's attention, quickly fell under his spell. Before long, they were married, and Maria gave birth to 2 sons. But as the nobleman's fortunes grew, so too did his neglect of his family. He spent more and more time away from home, leaving Maria and the children to fend for themselves. And so it was that Maria's once happy life had crumbled into tragedy. Her husband had taken a younger woman, leaving her alone and broken-hearted. In a fit of despair and rage, Maria took her children to the river and drowned them, unable to bear the thought of living without them. As the cold waters carried her children away, Maria was filled with regret and grief. She searched the riverbanks for days, weeping and wailing for her lost sons. When her husband returned and learned of the tragedy, he was overcome with anger and disgust. He cast Maria out, refusing to let her be with him until she found their children. But Maria's search was in vain, for her children were gone forever. And so she roams the earth, a tormented spirit trapped between worlds. She is La Llorona, the weeping woman whose cries echo through the night. Those who hear her mournful wails are warned to stay away, for she seeks to take wandering children, mistaking them for her own. Her white gown billowing behind her, La Llorona haunts the rivers and lakes, searching for her beloved sons. Some say that those who hear her cries are doomed to suffer misfortune or even death. So beware, my friends, and heed the warning of La Llorona's tragic tale. For her sorrowful cries may lead you to a watery grave, as she searches for the children she lost so long ago. I have another chapter to the tale of La Llorona. This legendary figure is not only known throughout Latin America, including Mexico, Central, and South America, but also has roots that reach far back in history. Some say that La Llorona is linked to La Malinche, a Nahua woman who served as Hernan Cortes's interpreter and mistress and who bore his children. According to the folklore of La Malinche, she became Cortes's lover, only to be abandoned so that he could marry a Spanish lady. In this way, La Llorona's story can be seen as a comparison to the Spanish discovery of the New World and the destruction of indigenous culture after the conquest. Similar tales of weeping female ghosts are found in the folklore of both European and indigenous American cultures. Scholars have pointed out similarities between La Llorona and the Cihuacotl of Aztec mythology, as well as even Lilith of Old World mythology. It is fascinating to see how stories from different cultures can have such similarities. Interestingly, the first published reference to La Llorona was a sonnet written by Mexican poet Manuel Carpio in the late 1800s. The poem does not mention infanticide, but rather identifies La Llorona as the ghost of a woman who was murdered by her husband. However, as the legend of La Llorona grew and evolved over time, the story of her tragic loss of her children became a central part of the tale. So there you have it, my friends. La Llorona is not just a spooky bedtime story, but a fascinating cultural phenomenon that has endured for centuries. Thank you for watching. We upload new episodes every other day. Subscribe to join the haunted journey.